gonna need you. Let's take a walk, just you and me. The church is close now. Tricycle. Elise, if you don't understand what's in front of you, it probably means you are facing modern art. Left, Boisseau's Park. Behind, the beach. Right, Assumption's Church. George's Museum, for the young and less young. Local museum, artisan workshop, exhibition hall. Exceptional summer event. Meet No-No the robot and take part in his treasure hunt. I don't see much. Let's walk with caution. I have a feeling that we can win gifts and they arrive right in this vase. (1990) Inauguration of George's Museum in the company of Saint-Exil's mayor. Always up to new challenges, the museum is located to attract people to an isolated part of the village. Facing the power supply issues of Saint-Exil, George electrically autonomized his museum.
May the force be with you.
So you're Nico the robot. You don't seem super friendly for something made to amuse kids. Still, he and the museum look shut down for now. I have a feeling that we can win gifts and they arrive right in this vase. I think I'm going to need a lever. George, with the momentary storm, your windmill system went into safety mode and stopped. I wanted to reactivate it, but I couldn't put my hand back on the lever. In the meantime, the museum will remain in the dark. So, the wind turbines providing him with power stopped working. I wonder where they are. Nothing. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. You are on one of the highest points of Saint-Exil. The Assumption Church was built against the edge of this cliff. This panorama has become an emblematic place for those who like to observe the flora and wildlife of the region. Wow, I finally got there. Saint-Exil Church. Let's find what this church has in store for me. That's one elaborate sundial. Despite its look, I'm sure people can still use it. But I have a watch. It won't open from this side. This smell of dust and candles. No doubt I'm on the right track. Storage room. I am gonna need a key for this one. This setup looks recent. They probably did it just before the attack on the village. Okay, have some courage, Elise. Transept. Completely locked. Tomb of Father Rouault, abbot who watched over the population of Saint-Exil. He dedicated his life to the village and the population. He distinguished himself in particular by his taste for religious, spiritual, and cultural texts. The large library of the Assumption Church is in his image. Cemetery. Shit. What are they doing here? I'm not sure I really want to know. I could never open that one.
The time has come, my friends. Everything has been revealed to me. I understand why the most basic things, like having babies, has been taken from us. Our divinity, that required so much sacrifice, is still not content. The village kids have had it easy for too long. They need to share our burden. It talked to me and asked to surrender them to its will. Generations have forgotten how this village was built. It is time for a history lesson. We placed statues to display each person we sent to see. In their anonymity, they remind us of the road still to be endured. But be reassured, my devotees, this road is coming to an end. I found a way to communicate with our protector. It has chosen me as its vessel and talked to me so many times. I will finally be able to answer. A few of us were meeting secretly in preparation for our next and last action. It will all be revealed to you tonight after the festivities. Do not enter the crypt yet. I have the answers you have all been looking for. I will remove this poison from our lives.
The annual High Mass is still maintained for the day after the Feast of the Village. Like previous years, we are expecting many of you. The sect had chosen the right place and the right time to strike a blow. Tomb of the Dureau family who contributed greatly to the creation of the port of Saint-Exil. The fishing activity was so important that the family built their house at the end of the quays. They thus were the first informed of the contents of the merchants' cargoes in Saint-Exil. An envied position. The De Vignaux Mausoleum. They played an important part in the development of Saint-Exil. This family was in charge of the local agriculture. They ultimately defended the village by burning their own crops. The flower house was once their home, but it is now owned by the town. Saint-Exil also has its little jokers who come to tag everything they find. There are no bad moments to officialize a bond. Excellent. Cemetery. It has been condemned by the sect. Bulletin from the city of Saint-Exil. The structure has been weakened and water can infiltrate the wall. The town will start the repairs soon so they can avoid a collapse before winter. Doesn't look like they had time. Planks removed. This should weaken this son of a brick.
This one, it's the easiest, I'm sure of it. Yet so you'll figure this one out easily, I hope. We often forget the path that brings us back to the finish, to the beginning, to the start. Yes, to the start. The next one will be the good one.
Never betrayed by our steeds. I only took a few riding lessons when I was little, but from memory, you can't trust these beasts. So I'm going to have to disagree. Tomb of the Duc de Bliard. He was in charge of defending Saint-Exil's agricultural and maritime activities. The White Manor is one of the vestiges of this family, who still live in the region. An ingenious system initially developed for its moats made it possible to send water to different parts of the village. Vegetable garden and scriptorium. I am gonna need a key for this one. This staging was prepared while the population was at the festivities. The population of Saint-Exil being already fragile. I dare to imagine the trauma of people if they had been exposed to this. And of course, served with its complimentary tape.
Residents of Saint-Exil, I observe you, and I see great suffering in you. You are deeply sad, and yet you persist in not wanting to acknowledge it. The situation here has been deteriorating for years, and no one has come up with solutions to your problems. No one wants to face it, but our village is sick at heart. Here and there, some think that a curse has befallen our lands. Well, these people were right. Saint-Exil is not just a village. This place has a soul. If you've lived here long enough, you've definitely felt it shining through its walls, trees, and cobblestones. At least you could feel it. Something has changed, and it has for too long. A dark and silent poison proliferates in the veins formed by our alleys and ends up washing up at the foot of our doors, contaminating us a little more each day. Saint-Exil is not just a village, and its creation is no accident. The ancients never doubted it. Someone, or rather something, greater than us, decided to gather us here a long time ago. He made us build this village and protected our ancestors in exchange for his benevolence. Some of us honor him for that. It is the same entity which today has decided to call you to order and punish you. Unlike you, I never doubted its existence and its great power. It chose me to guide you like a shepherd bathed in the light of his wisdom. Join us so that this nightmare finally ends. From now on, you are aware and cannot go back. If you don't bend to his will, you'll end up paying for it. Only one possible solution is offered to you. Obey!
It must have taken a lot of time to set up all this staging. A lot of struggling souls probably joined the devotees over time. A sheet is hidden under this pile of books. Father, I have heard noises coming from the crypt several times. It is during the night when I prepare the Mass that I hear them. Isn't the crypt supposed to be unlocked only once a year? The door is locked up tight when I want to access it. Interesting. This book traces the entire history of the church and the creation of this cross. I'll take it with me for my bedtime reading. This church seems to hide a lot of secrets from me. The Assumption Memorial Cross. It was created in honor of the people who participated in the prosperity of Saint-Exil. Looking more closely at the cross, one has the impression that some parts can be interlocked on the sides. We both knew you couldn't resist me. We both knew you couldn't resist me. Completely locked. I'm certainly not done with the place.
Tu m'avais manqué.
It was really soporific, but I managed to finish the book found in the church. There is a lot of information about this place and the village in general. It's sad, but it wasn't such a bad evening in comparison. If we go back many centuries, Saint-Exil experienced a much more sumptuous period. Originally, this village was only a small fishing hamlet by the sea, but it was located on the only road between two larger villages on the coast. It is with the cooperation of four great figures that the village developed and experienced its greatest activity: the Vigneaults, who ensured the agricultural activity of the village; the Dorf family, who were dedicated to fishing activities; the Duc de Bliard, who ensured the defense of the village with his soldiers; and finally the Abbot Royot, in charge of the spirituality through its church. Thanks to the progress brought by this collaboration, Saint-Exil had been able to develop for 100 years. But, sadly, during the following centuries, the village did not know the destiny that we imagined, and this prosperity turned into a distant memory. In remembrance of this period, which still resonates until today, these personalities were honored with the presence of a tomb that are located in the narthex and in the transept of the church. They also built a cross at the end of the Assumption Church that is a receptacle for 4 plates, each illustrating one of the families. Once a year, these plaques are gathered and placed on the cross to allow the inhabitants of Saint-Exil to have a moment of commemoration for its history and its ancestors. While I was crossing the church to reach the altar, I noticed light coming from an inaccessible room located just below. It's probably a kind of forbidden crypt, but then why would there be light inside? Considering the police are looking for cult members, this would be a perfect place for them to regroup in total secrecy. There's a procedure to follow to unlock the crypt's access, but it's going to be complicated. The door lock is linked to a mechanism inside the memorial cross. If I place 4 commemorative plates, the cross will unlock the door automatically. Well, supposedly, at least. Right now, only one of the 4 plates is inserted on this cross, the one honoring the Duc de Bliard. The others are scattered in various places in Saint-Exil. I have to go to the church to learn a little more about the other plates. They seem to be commemorating specific families whose tombs are inside the church itself. My investigation is turning into a treasure hunt. How great. Last note. Based on the documents, the key that unlocks most of the doors in the church is hidden at the heart of the cross, and I can already access it. This is very weird. This is very weird, Pierre. I found some ultra-bright and colorful sphere in this village. When I approach it, I start feeling like I'm being transported to a totally surreal world, a blinding world, rather calm, in which the water can go up the waterfalls, like these columns of water. Have you seen them too? Compared to the daily grind, it's a rather pleasant world to sink in. It feels quite cold, though. In this dreamlike environment, I walk through Greek and Roman vestige, just like those we saw on our trips before moving to the coast. I have the feeling of being constantly exposed to things that we experienced in the past. It allows me to cling into many memories of our arrival in Saint-Exil and all the events that took place before I was left alone here. Strangely, I have the feeling that time no longer passes when I find myself in this alternate world. Am I imagining this? Am I starting to daydream? Am I totally crazy, Pierre? I have to go to this crypt. I feel that I am close to my goal.